got some like fox tracks over here.
Okay, so let me speak.
All right.
Okay. So these are a nice set of red fox tracks, and we're going to get into some detail about what the fox was doing and kind of some idea of how you can identify a red fox track. So what the fox was doing coming in here, what I would call like a SOS gate, like the same old stuff. It's moving with direct register, meaning the front and the rear foots fall on top of each other, so they look like one track. But then it kind of changes. So these tracks here are direct register. That you come in here, and then it's gonna the fox is gonna slow down. And he's gonna turn his head to the right here, and then stop. So that's what we're gonna show you. So these tracks here, if you can go into these tracks here, this is the same old stuff. Here now you can see he's breaking stride here. You've got two tracks on top. These are two tracks. This is now indirect register. This track here, if you show it down here, Nick, and get closer, you can see the wing bar and the oval. That's being that it's a red fox. Direct register, that's two. The front foot is showing mostly there. Here you see now both tracks popping out. Now in this case it broke. And you got a front track here. I'm sorry, this is a rear track. You see it's more oval than round. You got a rear track here, front track here, rear track, and a front track. So now the distance, here you see the front tracks are lined up right this. That's because it's the direction of the motion, right? These rear tracks are pushing the fox. These front tracks are now supporting the head. And you see the line here is pretty wide. So what actually the fox was doing, he balanced himself with the front tracks out because he was looking in this direction up here. If you show the hill up here, he was looking really up around that shed between those two trees. And that's what these front tracks were balancing the head to look in that direction. Then these tracks here now are another two rear, right? Yeah, rear, these two rear, and then he just stopped. Actually, no, this is a front. So you got rear, rear, front, front, rear, front, and then just a complete stop here. So if you look at this whole sequence, he looked up at the hill, and then something to the left over here caught his attention. So he stopped. He probably heard something at this point in time because he was looking up there. Stopped here, and you can see these this kind of push in here. Actually, here's the two front, right? So here, he just twisted his body completely. See? Rear, front, here's another rear right here. Rear, front, rear, two front. Boom. So right here, he totally twisted his body, right? And stopped here. You can see this mark here is a drag mark into that front track. Drag mark into that front track. And he looked out then in this direction here. So something over that hill caught his attention, but not enough to go investigate. So here's the rear track when he's coming out of this stop, and he turned himself around. So you got a rear, you got a front, you got another rear and a front. He left marks in here that are these little grains of dust like this that he picked up. That's from the footprint. You don't really see much. Well, actually, there's a little compression in here, but it's harder for you to see. There's flat. There's harder for you to see. There's another track on the video, but there's tracks in here. And then he went up to the hill, up in that direction, and you can see that here's an easy one here that can show you that he did that. That's a rear foot coming in up there, and he went up that direction. Actually went up on this trail up here, on that way, rather than just go up on the up through the brush there. He's continuing on the trail, but he decided to go up on the trail along that cinder block building rather than take his way down through that way.
Alright.
So, oh, show the wing bar. That'll be the last thing that we'll show you. If you look at this, let's see if we can find a good, nice wing bar. Here's one. For a red fox track, there's something called a wing bar. And that's like this thing here in the back. You can see it's like a little T thing almost, a reverse T. That's from the red fox front foot. Leaves this predominant thing. That's a nice idea of a red fox, as well as it's round. Coyotes won't be as predominantly round as a nice little fox track like this with the wing bar on their front feet. And there's hair on the red fox. You don't see the hair coming in here, but sometime actually you might even see the hair coming in on the track.
Alright, cool. That sounds fantastic. Thank you.